Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome into the Ravens Minute Clinic. I am your attending today, Mills RX. You can follow me at Game Medicine on Twitter and also at Game Medicine on YouTube as well. Now, before we get started, I'd like to first give a shout out to CVS Health. Now, they have two very awesome wellness programs. One is called the Health Hub, that is more towards chronic illnesses and also like sleep apnea and other things like that, and also of course the Minute Clinic, which focuses mainly on like immunizations, COVID testing, quick checkups, things of that nature too. So if you are in your neighborhood and if you ever feeling sick or you have you need a drug test or something for your upcoming um, what I'm trying to say, your upcoming employment or things of that nature, just stop on by. They'll help you, and it'll be really great. And they'll help you out. And yeah, just like we try to do here in the Ravens Minute Clinic is keep people healthy, and that is the last thing that the Ravens are doing. Unfortunately, as we've all heard, two major injuries were suffered by two key players today. One was Gus Edwards. Now, he was slated to be the lead back because we unfortunately lost J.K. Dobbins to a torn ACL and LCL. And of course, another one of our running backs, Justice Hill, went down with a torn Achilles just not too long ago. So that makes three running backs that have gone down within the past 12 days. And not only that, the Ravens have dealt with three ACL injuries, a torn Achilles, and a bevy of soft tissue injuries, mainly growing injuries, like Rashad Bateman. Marlon Humphreys also had some soft tissue injuries as well. So it was all just the injuries are piling up, and that injury bug just isn't leaving us alone. And it's really sad because this was going to be a very special year. It still can be. Let me preface that by saying this still could be a good year because we have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, Lamar Jackson, and also we are loaded on defense. So we are loaded on defense. The secondary may take a big hit depending on the next couple of news because of the second major injury, which is supposed to be another one of our starting corners who's supposed to start opposite of Marlon Humphreys. It was supposed to be Marcus Peters. Now, apparently, he also suffered what could have been a season-ending knee injury as well. Now, here's the thing. According to many sources, like Jameson Hensley, and also Adam Schefter, like they were in practice and it was like non-contact injuries. It was a freak thing. I believe Marcus Peters, he was doing just a regular drill that he does like all the time, and he was coming out of a break, and then next thing you know, he was on the ground. And Gus Edwards, he was doing a regular drill too. They were just non-contact. It just happened in practice. Because of the magnitude of these two injuries, the Ravens had to shut down practice early because of that, just to try to save people's health. So it's really sad. And right now, we're still waiting on more updates on the two, but as of now, and as of the other sources like Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, stuff like that, we still don't know anything because we're waiting on the MRIs, we're waiting on the initial radiology, and also we're waiting on just what the team is going to say. Now there will be media availability on Friday, so I'm pretty sure we should get a better view tomorrow. And also, Coach Harbaugh is slated to speak at media availability as well. So that'll be a good thing. He will be able to give us updates on these two. But these are two big blows. These are projected starters. They're supposed to be very big. It's very big for us. And it's so sad to see them go down with major injuries, and it's just a completely different thing. And just to provide a little bit of context, about what potentially is happening, what they're potentially dealing with. Now, see, these are so this is your quintessential. Let me blow it up a little bit so you can see. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Now, this is essentially what a knee sprain is. This is when you have that DJ. There's three grades of knee sprain. There's a grade 1 knee sprain where there's some damage right here. This is a ligament. This is a ligament. This is the outside. So this is the LCL. This is the LCL right here. Let's see, you have your femur. So you have your femur right here. You have your tibia right here. But also you have your so this is your knee ligament, mainly the LCL. Now in grade 1 right here, there's some damage to it. Is mainly this red area right here is mainly overstretched. It's a hyperextended, pretty much. Like it probably was the force would hit it right here, and that's where the damage came from. So that's where it's come. It's a minor. It's minor. It caused some discomfort. There is some inflammation and other things, but it's still intact. That's the most important thing. It's intact. It's just hyperextended. Now, grade 2 is when things get a little dicey because, as you can see, there's a small tear right here. Small tear right here and a divot right here. It's a partial tear. That's what a grade 2 knee sprain is. It's mainly when the ligament was hit with enough force that a small thing happens into it. Now, this is when is like 4 to 8 weeks. This is 4 to 8 weeks, pretty much. This is a recovery timeline right here for it to heal. A grade 1 that normally gives you around 2 to 3 weeks. But if you're aggressive with it and you do some regenerative medicine, maybe like a stem cell injection, maybe a cortisone shot, you can come back and some intensive PT. You can come back maybe 1 to 2 weeks, but 2 to 3 weeks is the normal healing time for grade 1. Grade 2, as I said, is normally 4 to 8 weeks. And like once again, it's going to require you to be off of your leg for a while. It'll be painful for you to walk on it. So you want to rest it. So now grade 3. Now this is what people fear. Both Marcus Peters and Gus Edwards have a grade 3. It's a grade 3 injury right here. Now what happens is this is when it is completely torn. There is no continuity, and this one the entire knee just gets destabilized right here. The knee just gets destabilized. There's nothing holding it. There is no support right here. And then you see your two menisces right here. It's the lateral. Is that you have your lateral meniscus? You have your lateral meniscus right here. Your medial meniscus right here. These are open for even more damage because the ligament isn't here to support it. So that's a really big problem. So what you want to do is you want to protect this as much as possible, and this requires surgery. Now, Joe Burrow had a surgery on this, as mentioned before. He tore his ACL and MCL. Now, it's called cruciate ligament reconstruction surgery. Now, pretty much what it's done is these two portions are sewn back together with a graft of somewhere. They take skin from somewhere, or they take ligaments from somewhere, and they use it to tie these two together, put these back together. Now, recovery timeline is 9 to 12 months. They'll normally be out for the rest of the season. That's what people fear that is going on with Gus Edwards and Marcus Peters. So, yeah, that's a big problem. Hopefully, it's not this, but even if it is just a grade 2, even if they come back clean, there's still going to be a problem. They'll still be dealing with something like this. Their ligament will be hurt. So, yeah, that's a real big problem. So it's a real big problem. Hopefully they come back. So hopefully they come back strong, and it is not what we fear, a grade 3 injury, as many people fear, as like Adam Schefter fears, as Ian Rappaport fears. Hopefully they can all come back strong, and we can have them back at some point during the season. But even if it's not a grade 3 knee sprain where the ligament is torn, there will still miss some time. I don't know if it's substantial or anything, but they will still miss some time. Now, that wasn't so now that was of course the big news of the day. Just waiting on updates for those two. But the first injury report for the Ravens and Raiders game that comes on next Monday was here today, and we're going to break this down for a quick minute. So what we're going to take a look at the injury report. At the injury report right here, I'm going to increase the size. So you can see it. Okay, right here. This is the Raiders injury report right here that they've seen right here. This is the people who weren't in practice and the people who were in practice. Now we start at the top right here. We start right up here at the top is Cleveland Farrell. See, he was dealing with a back sprain. Sources say it was just some back spasms. He practiced in full today, so that's good. So that's good. He is on track to play. So right now, as it looks, he is a full go for week 1. Now another thing was Richie Incognito. Now he plays left guard, I believe, for the Raiders. He said he was dealing with a calf injury. He got this in preseason, and he did not practice today because he was dealing with that. He was in some pain. He wasn't able to put some weight on it. So there's that. Also, another big one was Josh Jacobs. Said he had a run. Said he's the running back. He's pretty much a big key to their offense. He's a running back for them, and it was really kind of undisclosed why he wasn't in practice. It was because of he had a toe issue, and it may have been turf toe, which is most likely, which is a slight sprain of the big toe unit, the big toe joint right there. So. But he was limited in practice today. He had missed practice yesterday, but he was back in practice today, which is good. But he was limited, and right here we have their draft pick. We have their draft pick, Alex Leatherwood. Now he plays tackle for them. Hold on. There. Hey, we got Engraven Vids. Has joined us. Hey, how's it going, man? How's it going? And pretty much. Alex Leatherwood, he was a tackle. So he plays tackle for them. He was their pick, I believe, this year. And he was dealing with a shin problem. Not much information on that. He was he was a full go in practice today. So as of right now, he was he looks like he could play, but we'll wait for the entire thing. Carl Nassib, he was a defensive end. I believe he's a left defensive end. Somebody help me on that. He was dealing with a pectoral thing, but he was limited in practice today. So we'll keep our eyes on that and get some information on that as well. Now we have Roderick Teamer. He's a safety, and he didn't practice today, and he's dealing with a shoulder and an ankle injury. It could be ankle sprain, could just be a bruise. We don't know. We'll keep you guys updated on that. Those are just the main ones who we're looking at for the Raiders who could potentially not play or who were on the injury report today. So before that, take a quick break and look at the super chat. Oh, my man, Engraven Vids, pretty good, man. How are you? I'm good. Hey, is it trying to make some sense of all these injuries that's going on? I don't know what's been going on, so hopefully we can get them back healthy. We've had no we've had no injury. So we had no injury updates right now. But Ian Rappaport and of course Adam Schefter is on that too. Hopefully we'll get them back for probably Friday. But it's really good that we actually have the injury report out so we know what is what. Now this is the official Ravens one. It was also on Twitter. You can also get it on the Ravens feed right here. Now, pretty much like it was going to be it was going to be a good day. It was going to be a good day for injuries. It's going to be a good day for injuries because the only two who didn't practice was, Nick Boyle and Derek Wolfe. Now, as we know, Nick Boyle is still coming back from knee injury. Said from knee injury he was dealing with because he had his knee surgery. So he had knee surgery yet to clean up his knee, and also he had a surgery to repair a couple of ligaments in his knee in the off season, and he needed some time to get back. But then in July he had a cleanup procedure or a debridement procedure, as what it's called, to clean up any artifacts and bones that was found in his knee. So that's a good thing. So that's a good thing, but he needs a little bit more time to come back. He did not practice today. As said today, I don't expect him to practice tomorrow. And right now his outlook is he is highly doubtful to play. And now this one has been not a bit of a mystery, not a mystery, but Derek Wolfe. Now this one's been a bit weird. Now he suffered, according to Jeff Zarebic and other sources, he suffered this back injury when he was during a joint scrimmage with the Carolina Panthers, and it's just been nagging him throughout practice, throughout camp, and it's really just this thing. And this is also this just popped up recently. Hips that he had a hip problem. It could be it's obliques. It could just be just a hip stinger. But he also didn't practice today, and I don't expect him to practice tomorrow. We'll see. But still, he's going to be a key on the defensive line, and it's really bad. It's really bad that he wasn't practicing, but he's highly doubtful to play as well. And of course, as we mentioned, just not too long ago, Gus Edwards, he dealt with a freakish non-contact injury. People fear it's a grade 3 knee sprain, and they think he could have torn his ACL. Like we need more ACL problems. So yeah, so we'll just keep with that. They said, of course, he was practicing during the open section of it that allowed people to see it, but when that went down, the Ravens just shut down the practice. And then, of course, we'll get back to Dalen Hayes in a minute, but Marcus Peters was also dealing with that knee injury as well. Said it's like back-to-back plays. First, Gus Edwards went down, then Marcus Peters went down, and of course they were limited, but they both fear that they tore their ACL and that they could potentially be out for the season. Hopefully that's not the case. We'll get more information probably tomorrow, but prayers to both Edwards and Marcus Peters that they can come back healthy, because their overall health is what's most important. Now, going back to Dalen Hayes, he missed practice yesterday. And we didn't know why. It was undisclosed, but now we see he was dealing with a bit of a knee issue. We don't know if it was just a knee bruise, contusion, or if it was an actual sprain, but he was limited. Good to have him back, but he was limited. So he's questionable right now. And right now, Gus Edwards and Marcus Peters are definitely doubtful, if not out. So, yep, that's pretty much that is the Raiders and the Ravens injury thing. So yeah. Okay, so let's go back and check out the thing. Oh, Devin Dukes. Hey, Devin Dukes, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate the information. Hey, I'm just trying to, provide the flock with the information you guys need. And going back to your early one, yeah, it's unfortunate for everyone to be injured. We've dealt with so many injuries. I think we had the most injuries than any team in preseason, and also during training camp, which is a big problem, which is really scary. So that's thing. So, yep, that's our won. But of course, we have another game today, the first game of the season. The football season is officially back. So, as a quick bonus, we're going to go over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. One. Okay, yeah, things going weird. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It got weird. There we go. Zoom feature. There we go. Okay. So you probably can't see it, but right here, this is a look at their thing. Let me get out of it. Sorry, having some technical difficulties. Okay, there we go. We have first up, and pretty much the only one who is out is right here is safety Jordan Whitehead. He's dealing with a hamstring strain. It's reportedly is grade 2. He's going to probably need some time off. He didn't practice all week, so he's pretty much the only one ruled out by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Giovanni Bernard had shown up early on injury reports, so that's a bad thing. But he practiced fully all week, so that is so he has full practice. He's a full go. He's active. Officially, I know another one who people work with Antonio Brown. He was dealing with that knee and thing because he had a procedure. He had a procedure in the offseason to get his knee fixed, which was good. But he practiced fully, so he's a full go. He is active. Which had a little cause for concern was Chris Godwin. He showed up on people's injury reports with and also on people's radar with the quad injury. Now, Dr. Jesse Morse of the Fantasy Doctors did a very good he did a couple of videos talking about how the quad injury is. Now, there's two types of quad injuries. You have a quad bruise and you have a quad strain. Now, pretty much when it's a quad bruise, it's a day-to-day thing. You could come back and potentially play during that thing if you get enough rest, and also if you get enough reflexology and you get the quad back to where if it's a quad bruise, you have a chance of missing a couple of things because that's when the muscle itself is actually damaged and there's a blood buildup, and you could potentially get what's known as a hematoma, or is blood buildup during the entire thing. So, yep, that's So that was a big thing, but it appears to be just been a quad bruise. So he was limited Tuesday, but he had a full practice on Wednesday. So he's a full go. Rob Gronkowski, and as you see these next couple of guys, Rod Gronkowski, Steve, tied in. He was pretty much just non-injury related. It was a vet day. Health maintenance days, vet days off. He was limited Tuesday, but he had a full practice today. So he is a full go. Once again, we have Steve McClendon, once again, resting veteran or health maintenance day. He had 2 days off. It wasn't on Monday. He didn't practice on Tuesday, but he was a full go today. So he has no injury designation. So he's active. He's a full go. And of course, JPP or Justin Pierre-Paul, he was another veteran resting, and he didn't really do anything. So yeah. So yep, he did not practice. He had those 2 days off, full go. So he is active today and going to the Cowboys now. Terrell Basham. He was dealing with an ankle injury. It was just an ankle contusion. He was fine. Full practices all week. He is a full go. Noah Brown. Now, he had a few people worried because he was on the reserve COVID list. He is vaccinated, so it's good. All he had to do was produce two. Now, if you're a vaccinated player, all you have to do is produce two negative PCR tests for the SARS-CoV-2 virus antigens. Now, the SARS-CoV-2, that is the actual virus. COVID is the name of the condition. The virus is actually SARS-CoV-2. Those antigens are what the PCR test looks for. So all you have to do is two negative ones and be asymptomatic for 48 hours, which he was. He didn't practice these two because he was on the COVID list. He was activated Wednesday. Now you have to be activated a day before by 4 p.m. Kind of like with our situation with Le'Veon Bell and even Devonta Freeman, who we just added to our practice squad. We have until Saturday at 4 p.m. to activate them. So yeah. So yeah, definitely we can do that, and hopefully we can bring them on. But it looks like we have Tyson and Le'Veon will potentially be the two backs, and we probably will bring up Devonta Freeman. So yeah, and also we have Trent Cannon too. So he could be a weapon on special teams as he was. Little known fact. Little known fact. Tyshawn Williams actually tore his ACL 2 years ago, so he has a bit of an injury history. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. Knock on wood. Now, we had La'el Collins. He had that neck stinger that he was dealing with. He came back to practice. He practiced all week. He's active. Chauncey Golston, he was dealing with a hamstring injury. He was dealing with a hamstring injury, nothing minor, said nothing major, just minor. He just nicked it a little bit. He tweaked it. He rolled it a little bit. But full practice is all week, so he's active. C.J. Goodwin, the corner, he was also dealing with a hamstring injury. 3 days of full practice. He's in. He is active. Of course, we have D-Law, Demarcus Lawrence, the vaunted defensive end. He had some back spasms that he was dealing with, but he practiced all week, so he is active. Of course, the long snapper came up. Jake McQuaid. He had a foot. He had a small. I believe it was a small foot sprain, or probably just a foot contusion, because he wasn't on the field Monday, but he had 2 days of full practice and he's active. Ty Nashiki, I believe he's a tackle. I don't know if he's probably a swing tackle. He had a foot problem. He was limited Monday and Tuesday, and he was questionable throughout the entire week, but he got in a full day's work on today, so he's active today. Of course, the biggest one everybody was worried about is Dak Prescott. Dakota Rain Prescott himself. Now, of course, the $75 million man, he was dealing with what was known as a lat strain or a latissimus dorsi strain. Now, normally baseball pitchers get that, and that's why the Cowboys actually went out and I believe they talked to the Texas Rangers and the New York Yankees to get some semblance of what type of injury this was. It was so weird that a quarterback got an injury from what a baseball pitcher would get, but he's fine. He's fine. 3 days of full practice. Also, we'll see how that surgically repaired ankle does. Hopefully his front line, his offensive line would do that. Do that, especially since right guard Zach Martin will not be out because of COVID complications. He needs a little bit more time to come back. He was not activated, so he will not play. He's inactive. So also we have Donovan Wilson. He was dealing with a groin injury. He was mainly just a core strain. Said minor core strain. He was fine. He did a full day's work, and he is active today. So, yep, that is it. Those are your things. So, yep, if you have anybody, so you can go ahead and start. So if you starting Chris Godwin, you can start Antonio Brown. Start all your weapons if you want to. They're out and they are in. So yeah. That's pretty much all. So that's pretty much all of the injuries that we were dealing with today. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for stepping into the clinic with me. Join me on Monday. Join me on Monday just before the game kicks off on the Ravens Fan React podcast with Mr. Jose Verduzco. I'm going to be breaking down. I'll break down. That was just the first day of the injury report. I'll be breaking down the entire one and giving you the actual active inactive report for the Ravens just before they start. So yeah, join us then. Also, if you like content like this, please hit that like button, smash the subscribe to the Game Medicine channel, and check me out on at Game Medicine on Twitter. Thank you so much. I will try to provide you as much information as possible. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you like this one, please subscribe to the Fantasy Doctors. They do amazing in-depth analysis on injuries. They go deeper than I do, because they are actually sports medicine physicians, hand surgeons, and also orthopedic specialists, and they treat injuries like this all the time. So yep, once again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. For stepping into the clinic. You don't need an appointment. We just try to keep the Raven flock healthy. And so pretty much thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next stream.